The last meals of 11 famous actors. 1. John Candy, spaghetti. John Candy was nearly finished filming Wagons East when he passed away on March 4, 1994. On his last day, he worked in 90-degree heat in Durango, Mexico, before calling it a night. Some say he ordered Mexican spaghetti for dinner that evening. Others claim he prepared it for a few of his assistants. Either way, it was the final meal he had before retiring to bed. Before sleeping, on March 3, 1994, Candy made a few calls to his co-stars, including Richard Lewis and Robert Picardo. Picardo later described their chat as cheerful, recalling that Candy sounded like a kid who'd had a great day at camp. He wanted to thank us. The next morning, Candy was discovered in his room, having succumbed to a heart attack in his sleep. 2. Philip Seymour Hoffman, cheeseburger and a cranberry and soda. The night before his body was discovered, actor Philip Seymour Hoffman had dinner with two friends at a New York bar called Automatic Slims. In his final days, he spent time in Greenwich Village, where he lived alone. At the bar, the bartender recalled he had a cranberry and soda and a cheeseburger. He seemed fine. The group also shared guacamole and chips, marking Hoffman's last known meal. Reports indicate that Hoffman had recently relapsed into drug use. When his friend David Katz found him on February 2, 2014, drugs and paraphernalia were found in his apartment. Investigators later ruled his passing an accidental overdose. 3. Frank Sinatra, grilled cheese sandwich. In his later years, Frank Sinatra's days followed a steady rhythm. He'd wake up in the early afternoon, have breakfast, and relax by the pool. For lunch, he often chose his favorite, grilled cheese. On May 14, 1998, Sinatra followed much of this routine. His wife, Barbara, gently urged him to step outside for lunch, where he ordered his usual grilled cheese, eating a bit before returning to his room. That evening, Sinatra, who had long struggled with heart issues, suffered a fatal heart attack at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. 4. Luc Castello, strawberry ice cream soda. It's uncertain if Luc Castello's last words were about the strawberry ice cream soda he'd just enjoyed, but it was his final known treat. The comedian was in the hospital when he passed on March 3, 1959, 5 days after suffering a heart attack. According to his nurse, around 10:30 that morning, he said he wanted a strawberry ice cream soda, which she brought him. He really enjoyed it, she said. He was a really happy man this morning. Though he seemed to be on the mend, Castello went into cardiac arrest that afternoon. At about 4 p.m., he mentioned wanting to turn onto his side, saying, "I think I'll be more comfortable." Before the nurse could assist, he slumped back and passed away. 5. Elvis Presley, ice cream and cookies. On the night before his passing, Elvis Presley spent time with his daughter, Lisa Marie, and fiancée, Ginger Alden. After a late-night dentist visit, he returned to Graceland and enjoyed a late snack. 4 scoops of ice cream and 6 cookies prepared by his cook, Pauline Nicholson. After eating, Presley played racquetball on Graceland's court. Later, he went to his bedroom but had trouble sleeping. He told Alden he was going to the bathroom, and she cautioned him, "Don't fall asleep." When Alden checked on him later, she found him unresponsive in the bathroom and called for help. Presley was pronounced dead at the hospital on August 16, 1977. A toxicology report later revealed multiple drugs in his system, including Dilaudid, Percodan, Demerol, Quaaludes, and codeine. 6. James Dean, milk and maybe apple pie. On September 30, 1955, James Dean was driving his Porsche Spyder when he collided with Donald Turnipseed's Ford, suffering fatal injuries. Earlier that day, Dean reportedly stopped at Tip's coffee shop near Castaic Junction outside Los Angeles, enjoying apple pie with milk, possibly his final meal. He made one last stop at a gas station in Blackwell's Corner, 55 miles from Bakersfield, shortly before the crash. With multiple diners named Tip's around Los Angeles, details of his last meal are uncertain, though apple pie has since come to symbolize the youthful American spirit Dean embodied. 7. James Jimmy Stewart, Cornish game hen and carrots. On the day he passed, James Jimmy Stewart spoke with a reporter from the National Enquirer. Although he had become reclusive and spent much of his time in his bedroom, he often conducted phone interviews. In his final conversation, Stewart reflected on death, saying he would miss his children, but added, "It's time they started living their own lives and not have to worry about this old man." He also shared his meals for the day: a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch and Cornish game hen with carrots for dinner. After Stewart passed from a heart attack on July 2, 1997, longtime Variety columnist Army Archard remembered his friend's fondness for PB&J and reflected on the quiet, reflective days Stewart spent before his passing. Number 8. Marilyn Monroe, Gaspacho and Chicken. In 1952, Marilyn Monroe shared her daily eating routine. She blended milk and eggs for breakfast, skipped lunch, and typically had broiled meat and raw carrots for dinner. However, her final meal was different. According to some accounts of her last night on August 4, 1962, Monroe anticipated a possible meeting with Bobby Kennedy and ordered from a local Mexican restaurant. The meal reportedly included gazpacho, chicken, taco dip, and meatballs. Number 9. Britney Murphy, Noodles and Tea. In the days before her passing, on December 20, 2009, actress Britney Murphy had been unwell. She and her husband, Simon Monjack, both fell ill after returning from Puerto Rico. A coroner's report later attributed her death to pneumonia, anemia, and a dangerous combination of prescription drugs. The report also noted her final meal: noodles, leftover Thai food, Gatorade, water, and tea with lemon. Her mother, Sharon, had prepared the tea for her that morning. 10. John Belushi, Lentil Soup. Just hours before his death, actor John Belushi visited the Rainbow Bar and Grill in West Hollywood, a favorite spot for musicians and celebrities, and had his final meal, a bowl of lentil soup. He was staying at the nearby Chateau Marmont and reportedly chose soup due to an upset stomach. Afterward, Belushi moved between the Rainbow and the Roxy Club, drinking and using drugs. Back in his room, he continued his indulgence while his friend Kathy Smith, a singer and drug dealer, attended to him. Smith injected Belushi with heroin, leading to his fatal overdose. She was later sentenced to 15 months in prison for involuntary manslaughter and drug charges. Following Belushi's death on March 5, 1982, the Rainbow Bar and Grill stopped serving lentil soup. 11. James Gandolfini, Foie Gras. James Gandolfini was on vacation in Italy when he passed away in 2013. On June 19th, he spent the day in Rome with his family and had a meal before returning to his hotel. Details about the exact meal vary. Some reports claim Gandolfini drank several alcoholic beverages, including piña coladas, rum, and beer, and ate fried prawns and foie gras. Other accounts suggest he did not consume any alcohol. Michael Kobold, a close friend who was with Gandolfini and his family, has also provided differing descriptions of the meal.